First chapter, physical world. So when we see about the space above the us, night sky, celestial bodies, early humans are very wondered about that particular things. The regular repetitions of day and night, and the regular repetitions of seasons. So when why the seasons are occurring repeatedly, that is became a good question for them. And eclipses, it's a really confused them that sometimes they don't see the sun on the morning time, and sometimes the night time this moon is getting reduced and again increases. When they see the volcanoes, they feared a lot. So always they think why these volcanoes are erupting. So what is there at the bottom of that hill? And when they see the tides, low tide and high tide, so one thing they started wondering that why all these are happening. Humans are so clever. They started to think why all these are happening. So they used to observe that why this physical environment continuously changing, and they wanted to find a meaningful way for this. So now the word science originates from the Latin verb scientia, meaning to know. So early human used to understand that these things that why are happening like that. In Sanskrit we use the word vignan, and in Arabic we use the word ilm, means both meanings the knowledge. So scientia, the old persons and traditions have shown that they have some sort of methodology to understand that nature, how it is happening and why it is happening. They continue to inquest that why all these things are happening. But standard method is required. That's what we call it as science, so called as scientific method. What does the scientific method consist of? Scientific method will help us to study the particular thing in much detail, as depth as possible, and using that knowledge that we gain from the study to predict, modify and correct certain phenomena. Science is exploring, experimenting and predicting the things what are happening around us. There are some standard steps we need to follow. First of all, observation. Suppose we want to study that why that particular seasons are happening, so we need to observe that what are the things are happening, and we need to give some conclusion, hypothesis, then experiments, and we need to data analyze the data, and then we need to come to a conclusion. Like that, science has no boundaries and no final theory. Many things have come and go, but what the thing is, continuously the science is uh, modifying. So now unification and reduction is very very important in this. Unification, it is act of unifying the different laws valid for different phenomenon into a single theory that explains all the different phenomena. Reduction, it is breaking down a complex system into simple constituent systems to so that the laws of physics can be applied on these systems, and we can understand the working of a complex system. So what we can say about this thing, unification and reduction, that the gravitational law we can apply to all universal bodies. Now to study the atoms we need to go to the reductionism, means reduction, slowly we need to atom and electrons, nucleus and all those things. So unification and reduction both are the scientific method which are useful in classical and quantum mechanics. So scope of excitement of physics, classical physics, Newton physics, that led to the discovery of so many things. Once what happened, that we discovered microscopic things, so automatically the physics have gone into the deep picture. You can see that experiment is also makes the physics to grow in a later. The alpha scattering experiment of Rutherford, that gave the nuclear model of atom. From there onwards we can see that many changes have come in the physics. So in physics we can see the mechanics, electrodynamics, optics, thermodynamics, so many branches are there. So in physics experiment is also a major part. Now you can see the branches of science. From the natural science, it can be divided into physical science and life sciences. And physical science, you can see the chemistry and physics. So we are concentrating mainly in this particular chapter about physics. Physics is one branch of science, and in physics, very important thing is that scientific method, unification and reduction, and so many branches are there in physics. The scope of physics means that way from where to where we can study that. You can see that study means even if when you are studying about the solar system, galaxies and all those things, the 10 to the power of 26 meters and up to even 10 power 40 meters distance also you can. But when we are studying about the nucleus, ground scale 10 power minus 15 meters. Scope of physics is from minute to maximum limit, it is there. Now what is the thing is we need to hypothesize some things. It is a supposition without means we need to assume something that is to be true, but that may not be proved, but can be considered as a proved one. Hypothesis, axiom, it is a self-evident truth which is accepted without any controversy and question. And model, we need to prepare explain the observed phenomenon by using a theory. Now what we can say that once the development of physics is there, the technology has improved a lot, that brought so many changes in the society. So you can see that when 100 years back and now that society, how it has changed. Suppose if you have seen in the communication system 100 years back, they used to use the phones, that also very difficult and very few people used to have. But now everyone at home, they are having the phone, and every person is having the phones and using the technology. So science made this particular thing as possible and brought the changes in the society. Now we are going to discuss about the four fundamental forces: gravitational force, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear forces, and strong nuclear forces. So the gravitational force and all those things when we have to study, so it should be very important thing for us. Why? Because these forces occurring in different contexts actually arise from only small number of fundamental forces in nature, all forces. So even suppose if you have seen the elastic spring force arises due to net attraction and repulsion between the neighboring atoms of the spring when the spring is elongated or compressed. This net attraction repulsion can be traced to the sum of electric forces between the charged particles in constitution. So all the forces in the nature comes under these four fundamental forces only. Now let me discuss the gravitational force. The gravitational force is the force of mutual attraction between any two objects by virtue of their masses. It is universal force. Every object experiences this force due to every other object in the universe. All objects on the earth, for example, experiences the forces of gravity due to the earth. In particular, gravity governs the motion of the moon and artificial satellites, and the sun is controlling the planets, and planets are revolving around the sun because of this gravitational force only. Next come to the electromagnetic force. The electromagnetic force is the force between the charged particles. In the simpler case, when the charged particles are at rest, the force is given by the Coulomb's law, attractive for unlike charges and repulsive for like charges. When charges in motion, they produce the magnetic field. So these electromagnetic forces are also responsible for the elastic forces, etc. Now we are coming to the weak nuclear forces in the nucleus. Weak nuclear forces appears only in certain nuclear distances, very strong low distances, and strong nuclear forces. The strong nuclear force binds the protons, neutrons in the nucleus. It is evident that without some attractive force, the nucleus will be unstable due to the electric repulsion between the protons. This attractive force, which is much greater than the gravitational force. So nuclear force is the strongest force of all fundamental forces, about 100 times the electromagnetic force in strength. It is charge independent and acts equally between the proton and proton, neutron and neutron, and proton and proton. So These four fundamental forces are responsible for all the forces in the physics. Now you can see the advancement of the physics, how it changed. Unification done by the user is Newton. So he unified the celestial and terrestrial mechanics, show that the same law applicable for all celestial and terrestrial bodies. Now you can see the Michael Faraday showed that electric and magnetic properties are inseparable aspects. Maxwell unified the electricity, magnetism, and optics, and he has shown that the light is an electromagnetic wave. Now, other scientists also responsible, and they made the unification theory, and unification has advanced in many ways. Now you can see that recent decades have much progress on this particular aspect. The electromagnetic and weak nuclear forces have now been unified and are called as electro-weak forces. Now so many changes have come. Now what is physical laws means? Physical laws are those laws which describes the general nature and principles according to which the physical phenomenon acts under certain conditions. Physics explores the universe. Their investigations based on scientific progress range from the particles that are smaller than atoms in size to the stars that are very far away. In addition to finding the facts by observation and experimentation, physicists attempt to discover the laws that summarize these facts. In any physical phenomenon governed by different forces, several quantities may change with time. A remarkable fact is that some special physical quantities, however, remain constant in time. They are conserved quantities of nature. Understanding these conservation principle is very important to describe the observed phenomenal quantitatively. Now, what we have understood that physics is the study of nature in a systematic manner. We go for a scientific method, observation, analysis, hypothesis, and experiments, calculations, and conclusion. Now we can see that the physics has so many branches such as classical and quantum physics. In classical physics is also called as Newtonian physics, and quantum physics deals with how the atom level, at the nucleus level, how the fundamental particles behave and all those things. Now what we can discuss about this particular thing is entire physics is very important, and we also should develop the observing phenomenon. So our universe is teaching many things to us. Thank you.